matter the weather, Alexandria Emergency Hospital is always here for you. Rain or shine, our doors are open 24/7 to provide the care you and your loved ones need fast. Every second counts, and Alexandria Emergency Hospital is here to help you through any storm.
In the event of a water damage emergency, call PuroClean of Cenla.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Thanks for watching. We have a lot to talk about here. We have flood watches. I think we have a decent severe threat, and I'm going to show you a high-resolution model that's going to blow your mind. Well, it's going to show a lot of bright colors, at least. So here is the upper system that's going to kind of sneak off to the east. Here's the next one coming in from the west, and this thing's going to come in here, and it's just going to be moving really slowly. So the question is, what are these big rounds of storms going to do? How are they going to modulate future rounds of storms? But I think what we're going to see here with that system out to the west is we're going to see a lot of upper level support. I posted about this yesterday, and it seemed like people almost got mad. But I like to occasionally show a technical thing like that. But one of the cool things is here, and let me go into analysis for just a second because I wanted to show you what I was talking about yesterday. So the jet stream is going to, and we'll just take a minute here for a little weather school. The jet stream, we're talking about 40,000 feet up. It's going to be like this and then like that. So when you see that diffluent or divergent flow, when that's doing that up there, basically there's a void that needs to be filled. So what happens is we get surface convergence, that comes together, you get a real nice rising motion to the air that sticks around for as long as that stays in your area. So we're going to have a really, really good bit of vertical motion. We're gonna have a ton of moisture in place, and that means we are going to see some big time flooding threat, I think, across the area with moderate risk for flash flooding in effect. Now, I'll show you all that in just a second. Again, that's just one of the things we look at, or one of the things I look at, and one of the things that I think is really simple and beautiful in the atmosphere. Basically, it's the law of conservation of mass. If you lose mass somewhere, you got to get it back somewhere else, and that's what happens in the atmosphere. Now, we have tons of flood warnings on the rivers still, so not good to see a flood watch for several inches of rain coming in. This, as of now, does not include Catahoula and Concordia Parish, but everyone else in the area and most of the state, in the western half of the state, you are under this flood watch. So if you are watching me, you're pretty much in that threat zone to see some heavy rain. And we've already seen 1 to 5 inches over the last week. So we've seen a lot of water. Got to move my coffee so I don't knock it over when I start talking with my hands. But 1 to 5 inches of rain has fallen. We're pretty wet right now. We can handle what we have, but what we have coming, that's going to be the worry. And I think we're going to see a ton of rain fall in a short amount of time. Again, I'm going to show you this model in just a minute. It's like, well, that's not good. Mid 60s for right now across most of the state, 72 in New Orleans. Here is the wind flow for today, kind of out of the east still, and it's going to stay that way. It looks like we're going to get a few storms, especially across the southern part of the state here, south of I-10. You can see those gusty winds kind of working along. Eventually, the winds are going to turn to the southeast, and that's going to really start pumping moisture in overnight. And as that warm front comes through tomorrow, we're going to see showers and storms increasing. Now, we're going to see clouds increase today. In fact, after 4 o'clock, I think they really increase. We could even see a few showers today. So we've had to put rain chances in the forecast, but this is that much advertised model that I've been talking about. Let's go through it first. So this is the high resolution model. This is the one that ran like an hour and a half ago. And this is what I was watching before I came on here. So for today, I mean, it's just a couple of scattered sprinkles, showers, maybe a thunderstorm down toward Lake Charles, but nothing too heavy. Overnight tonight, not a lot going on, but there's your warm front right there. Behind this, lots of moisture, lots of instability, and we're going to see a setup very favorable for that heavy rain with all that in place with that crazy jet stream energy overhead as well. So noon, we get some storms along the front. Now watch what happens by about 5 o'clock. It just blows up. We get thunderstorms everywhere. Now, not all of these are going to be severe. I do think there's a severe threat. I think they're going to expand the slight risk across the entire area. But look at your time here. So 6 o'clock, 11 o'clock, still storming. And then overnight, it looks like we're going to see that threat shift a little bit further to the south. And we'll see where this heavier rain shield, how far north that goes. But by 10 a.m., we're still in the moderate to heavy rainfall across the area. And then we got to see what happens on Wednesday. But I think we're going to keep at least some rain in the area, especially in the southern half. But the damage will be done at that point. I think we get a solid 3 to 6 inches of rain out of this first wave, and possibly some areas seeing more out of that. And then we get more, especially over the southern half of the area Wednesday, and then we kind of reload it again for Thursday now. So again, I've pulled rain chances up a bit. The slight risk for excessive rain is over our southern third of the area on Wednesday, but I think we will still see some heavy rain in the area. And then again, like I said, Thursday we get more showers and storms in the area. So slight risk for severe weather, Natchitoches, Leesville down to Lake Charles. I think this gets pulled maybe 50 to 100 miles to the east and possibly even upgraded to an enhanced risk. We've got some pretty intense low-level wind shear, so it just depends on how these storms behave once they develop, but I think we're going to have a severe threat, and I think it could be reasonably high across parts of the area, especially in those earlier storms that develop. So a big broad brush look at this thing because we only went through Wednesday morning on the high-res model. You got showers and storms Tuesday. We know about that. Tuesday night into Wednesday morning is when the highest threat for really intense heavy rainfall is going to be here. Then we see what happens across South Louisiana on Wednesday, but I think Thursday we get another resurgence of moisture with showers and storms back in the forecast. And then on Friday, we keep some scattered rain here as well, though you can see that the intensity, we're not seeing the yellows and the oranges and all that. That'll start to back off. And then that upper system, I think it finally gets out of here. That is the hope and the prayer, but there you go. A solid 4 to 8 inches of rain across the state is in the forecast for the next 7 days. You can see a little bullseye down there around Lafayette. Tough to really say exactly where that's going to happen, but somewhere in Louisiana, I think ends up seeing actually over 10 inches of rain out of this. So obviously a flash flood threat. Our flash flood watch goes through Thursday morning, and here's why. It's going to rain Tuesday. I think Wednesday we have a good chance at least for early rain. Hopefully this thing gets suppressed far enough to the south to where we don't have to deal with a real sustained heavy rain threat on Wednesday, but on Thursday, again, pulled rain chances up a bit because we'll see some scattered storms in the area, but you can see that general kind of fade down on the rain chances into the weekend. So finally, we get a break there, and I think that break is probably going to last a little while. So we have some pretty warm air. I mean, low to mid 80s. It's May. It's typically what we expect for the middle of May. And fortunately, after this, we have drier air that's going to come in. May 13th to May 19th, looking like a pretty dry stretch. Hopefully that's accurate, because if we see 4 to 8 inches of rain with someone seeing 10, 12 out of this, we're going to need a break from the rain as well. So yes, we will pray against that. We don't want all that rain. And I know, yeah, the Little River, the Saline-Larteau complex, all these places around here that have trouble dealing with this kind of water, they're already high. So seeing this kind of rain coming in right now, it's not the best news for sure. So we're going to be watching the levels on those lakes and rivers and bayous and all that stuff closely, and we'll be updating you on any warnings we have. So while I think the severe threat could be relatively significant, the most widespread broad brush threat out of this one is going to be the flooding rains. And yes, I am praying I'm wrong too. Would be lovely to be wrong in this case. So we'll be watching things. I'll be here to drink my coffee, hang out with you and all that stuff. And tomorrow morning, hopefully we'll have a real good handle on where the heaviest rain is going to fall. Of course, as you know, that stuff can move a little bit. Even as it's happening, you know, we'll have to kind of shift that around. But somewhere in the area, going to see some very heavy rainfall totals. And it looks like right across the heart of the area is the best chance to see that. So I will be live again tomorrow. I don't know if Tom will be live this evening. He's out of town right now. If he's not back, I'll jump on and we'll talk for a bit. And then tomorrow, I'm sure I'll be live a few times because we'll have that severe and that flooding threat. But for now, I'm going to get out of here. I'll do a full text update later this afternoon after we get all the models in. But I already posted about the flood watch and my brief feelings, which I know sometimes people like that a little better. But I'm out of here for today. For now, I will see you later. Have a wonderful Monday, and see you back here tomorrow.